Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to take you on a wild ride from a challenge from Susanna L. And so she has asked me to do a random pick of materials so that I don't know what's coming and I can't plan ahead. So I take you up on this challenge. And so I'm showing you my workspace and where all my materials are at. So I will be getting into drawers. I will be getting into pads of paper. This is where I work. I will be getting into these drawers, these sets of papers. I will also get into some washi tapes, choosing of those. I will choose some stickers from up top here, and I will choose a pad in order to get my background. So even that is going to be random. I also have this grouping that I will choose a couple from. So these are all my groupings of things, all my workspace, so that you can see where I'm actually choosing them from. So hang on, because I'm going to hang you up here. So bear with me as I get you loaded in. And I have to be careful because it is spring loaded. So I apologize for this part of it. There we go. Okay, so I've got you loaded here where I want you, which is the best position. And I wanted to show you before I get started in picking what I've been up to. So each of these took me 2 to 3 hours to create. I went through all of my stash and carefully chose and picked the things that I wanted to do. So when I want to de-stress or just play, I will do these types of projects but not film them. So this is the first one that I worked on. And I've got a little bit of everything. So this is where I really take my time to think about placement, subject matter, storyline, things like that. So there's that one. This is the next one. And again, these take me more than 2 hours to create. And I just listen to a podcast or a history of the pyramids or something like that while I'm working. So there's that one. And then this last one was one I finished up this morning. So these are things I do, but I don't film. So I just play, I create, and I hone my skills at placement and creativity, things like that. Okay, let's begin. So I'm gonna start picking some materials. The first of which is going to be this batch right here. This is the pad of paper I chose at random. This one was loose, so it looks like I pre-chose it, so let's do that again. I'm going to choose washi tapes. Okay, I'll pick that up in a moment. I've got it, but I can't get it. Okay. I've got a texture basket. Okay, I'm gonna pick up that washi tape that I chose. Okay. I'm gonna choose 2 from over here. I'm going to choose 3 from my drawers, 3 different drawers. Okay, so there's 3. I'm gonna choose 2 from up here out of these papers. Ooh, there seems to be a castle theme with what I choose lately. That's interesting. Okay, wow. Can I just not do this? No, just teasing. My mind is already going, what? Okay, I'm choosing 2 from over here. This is kind of fun. Okay, and 3 from these drawers, different drawers. And these are scrap drawers that I'm choosing out of. And what I do is I have to use everything. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and I believe I've got 3. This one. No, I need 1 more from these drawers. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see here. I also want to choose from these pads, and I'm going to choose at random a pad. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to choose from these pads over here. And I have to use all of it. That's my rule. Gotta use all of it. Okay. So whatever I choose for pads that have stickers, I have to use every sticker that's on there. And every part of the paper that I choose. Now I can do whatever I want with these, however I want, but I must use everything. Every bit of the paper. Okay. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And I'm going to get a sip of coffee before I begin. Susanna, thank you so much for this. This is fun. Okay. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to keep these here to remind me that I have to use them. I'm going to, let's look at what I've chosen. So I've got a whole different mix, which is what it should be. These are beautiful, but they're already clashing, but that's okay, because clashing is okay. Because the challenge is to see how I can make it work. There's that. We've got these. We've got this little Halloween looking pumpkin. Now what I will try to do, a bird, what I will try to do is not cover up everything of an image. I may cover up part of it with the layering, and I may cover up none of it. So we shall see. So we've got this. We've got a scrap that's got some music notes on it. So we'll use that. Some of these drawers have my scraps categorized. Looks like a stained glass pitcher with maybe a piece of fruit. Maybe it's a sangria, not sure. We've got a postage stamp, a vintage lady postage stamp. And we've got the blue flowers. We've got the balloon. And we've got the aqua beautiful bird paper. Okay, now this is challenging because I don't want to cover this up, but yet I may cover up part of it. So we'll see how this works out. So I'm going to, again, take a moment to survey and decide what I want to put down first. What I want in the background. Move these over here. You're going to hear me shuffle around constantly, trying to figure out where I want to go next. Put these over here, and I have to remember my washi tape, so don't let me forget that. Okay, butterfly. All right. So and sometimes you're going to see me sit with it for a bit. Okay, that's the direction I want to start. Sometimes getting started is the hardest part. But if you get your basics down, I have to make sure that you guys can see this. If I get my basics down, my first pieces, then it drives the rest of the composition. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend, and I'm going to get really crazy with it. Sometimes I will tear pieces up. I will break them up. I will cut them. I won't always use them as is. But this way you guys get to see the process. I am going to try and link up subject matter as well as colors, blending, as well as categorizing. I'm gonna work with this behemoth as well. I'm going to try and leave a space so you can see that beautiful paper behind. Whether it was beautiful or not, I want to use that space to be able to showcase the background. I don't want to cover it up entirely. I'm going to just continue to play here with the things. I think this challenge is probably the hardest you'll ever come across, because it is so random. You don't have a chance to think it through. It's part of the challenge. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for balance as well as color distribution. So I'm going to put this piece down, but I'm not going to glue this part right here to leave myself an option for a tuck-in if I so decide. So I'm only going to glue this part right here. And I want to get it lined up with that other previous piece. Okay, so now I have this tuck-in availability if I should need it. I love this so much. I don't want to cover it up. So that's the reason why I'm splitting these flowers and things. So again, I have to use every part of it, every scrap, every bit. And again, I'm going to line this piece up with this piece right here. And I want this and this to line up, and I want this and this to line up. And even though I tore off that piece, I have to use it somewhere. And I want some of the beauty of that piece to show through. And you know what? I've got two. I accidentally chose two. Did I? Yeah, I did. So I'll just use one of them. But I hear you guys telling me, nope, nope, use both. You chose it. So I will use both. I will challenge myself to use both. You picked it. You gotta use it. I'm tearing this off, I must use it somewhere else. I don't want half of this to go to waste, being tucked under something. So I will use it like that. So I save the waste. But again, I have to use all of it, so I have to use the other piece somewhere else. I want it straight on that piece, so it looks like it's a part of it. And I'm wiggling it out of position because I want to get that glue off of there. This glue is wonderful in that if you get it on your hands, it just, as you rub your hands together, it just rolls off. So yes, I do have to vacuum. Okay. So let me take a breath and see where I'm at. See what I've got. Oh, look, it broke off a little frame, and guess what? I have to use it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna frame the clock. Want some color down in here. This is just a rough, fussy cut. It's not anything I would normally do. So when I'm looking at these papers to decide, I'm looking at what's actually on the paper to see how to use it. And this seemed to be in strips. So I'm going to use it in strips. At least I think I am. But we shall see. Okay. I don't have an end game in mind as to what this is going to look like, because with one piece it can change. I'm going to line these edges up so that they're even with each other. And again, even though I'm tearing it apart, I do have to use all of it somewhere. And what I'm doing here is I'm using these pieces to bridge the lines between the pieces so that it covers up the edges, but it also gives a dimensional quality to it, which changes its dynamic. Actually, I'm going to change to this piece. I appreciate you guys being here for this fun ride. This is unlike anything I've done before. And it does mess with your mind because you want things to go together. You want them to work as far as subject matter, texture, color. I'm not sure what the story is here. Maybe you guys can help me with the title. But of course I will have the title before you guys ever see this. So let's see what else we want to do. I'm saving the hardest for last because it's more of a adding details instead of main subject matter. And it's these purple and blue stickers. They will help me to add detail in areas which can change the whole dynamic altogether. Now Now these layers, I love to do them because they add such detail to a piece. That adds interest. And again, I'm cutting this off, but I have to use it. I've got some music notes here. This is a straight edge and a straight edge. So I want to use it in a corner. Then it makes it the piece really look like it's supposed to fit there. Like it's just a part of the material coming through or being torn off. It also helps to soften blocks of bold color. Okay, so this little guy is gonna go right in there. I'll take that back. Let me see if I can get this up. This is gonna be the bird's song. So these music notes are the bird's song. This looks like a little antique frame for a picture or a piece of glass. And they are somewhat, these stickers are somewhat see-through. One thing that this project does that is amazing is it allows you to use materials you would not normally choose. This black and orange I was reserving for a Halloween type, but I wasn't quite happy with the whole subject matter or how to use it. Sometimes I am intimidated by pieces. This is a crazy Ephemera Mashup. Okay, let's see. What else? Okay, we have these left, and we have the washi tapes left. I'm gonna leave the washi tapes for the last. And let's begin. Again, I have to use everything on here, every sticker. This one here says every season has its purpose. This one here says do your own thing. This one here says seek good in all things. This one says rise and shine. Wild and free. That's not straight, KK. That's my nickname. My name is Kelly. And people at work, sometimes family, call me Aunt KK or KK. I have another girl at work. We are KK1 and KK2, and I am too. This one says, did it for no. No. That's my old eyes kicking in. It says, do it for now. This one says, do what makes you happy. This one says, embrace the chaos of life. This one says, focus on your dreams. This one says, fill your day with joy. Don't be afraid to go over images and have it be a little bit off. This one says, and it may be too small for me to read it. No, it says, always be kind. This one says, life is so lovely. I've got some gold hearts. And put that in that circle. Okay, now we have the butterfly. And it looks like it's a three-dimensional butterfly. So the bottom sticks down and the wings pop up. Okay, now I have the washi tapes left. I can't seem to hang on to these. Let me grab it. This is going to get interesting. Okay. So we have here this pink and purple, which is funny considering the other choices I made. Finding the end of it is sometimes difficult. Okay. Now I am going to cut this piece off, but I do have to use it. Because I chose it, I have to use it. Somewhere. And I don't want this going beyond. So again, because I chose it, I have to use it somewhere else. Okay, and I do have this stamp that's actually hiding from me. So now that I see it, I'm gonna put the lady somewhere beautiful. I've got to get her. This is one of the hardest stickers to get apart from its backing because it's got crenellations. So bear with me. Take a sip of something or take a break, but I have to use it. So if I can't get it off its backing, which I'm having trouble, I will try a little bit more. Let me try this way. No, it's not. So what I will use is I will do it on its backing. I will glue it down. Because I don't want you guys sitting here for the next 20 minutes. When I work on my own, some of these stickers, it literally does take me 10 to 15 minutes to get these stickers off. Okay, so I'm gonna put her right there. And sometimes you just have to, instead of trying to get it off its backing, just put it on there with the glue. Okay, so I have this little piece that I cut off that I have to use, and I'm gonna put it right here. I don't like how crooked that is. I want it to be right on the edge of that. Okay, so I've used this one. Now I want to use this one. Gotta find the end. Wow. These washi tapes are old. They're more than 10 years old. They are more than 20 years old. And so it could be why I'm having difficulty, but I have to use it. So I don't want to use scissors because I don't want to cut myself trying to get this off. So again, if you want to take a break while I work on this, because this is definitely where the end is at. And pardon the noise in the background. I'm going to shut the door so you guys aren't privy to all that while I work on the end of this. Okay, so that will dampen some of the background noise. This is frustrating. Oh, I think I got it. Okay. There we go. I got it. Finally. Yeah, okay. Let's see where I want to use this. I like the fact that these washi tapes allow some of the background to show through. Okay, so there's that. Now, I'm going to challenge myself even more. Remember this sticker pad? The rest of this is a sticker too. So, let's see if I can get it off its backing. Let's see if I can separate it out and then use it in different areas. Yeah, even those words. Even those words. So you guys are really seeing a challenge today. Since these are straight edge to straight edge, I will use them on the corners. I'm going to cut this off, but I do have to use it. Okay, and it's a tiny, tiny piece. Okay. Get the right side of it, Kelly. Okay. Some of these are strange rando pieces. I really don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going with it. But I do have to use it. these are what I call scary scraps. The more crazy the scraps are, the more fascinating it is to use. And the fact that I am cutting these in crazy ways just lends to the whimsy. I'm gonna call it whimsy. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call it whimsy. And this is hard to get this straight because it's wanting to lay down. Okay, there we go. And I'm just cutting, because what I'm doing is I'm making it a challenge for myself. So I'm not thinking about how I'm cutting it, I'm just cutting it. Okay, y'all, this is about to be done. I hope you have enjoyed your time here. To see how I would end up with this crazy train of a challenge that I've made for myself. The last piece, y'all. Last piece. This is probably the hardest because it is the last piece. I don't want to take the easy way out and put it on top of that piece because it's a corner. So I'm really trying to stretch my mind here to see exactly where I want to put it. And there it is, all done. Oh, we did it. Susanna L., thank you so much for this challenge. It was so much fun. And look at all the things we got on there. and all the ways we put it on there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this challenge to see what I would end up with and to see in which way it was going to go. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you on the next one.